Welcome to another episode of Obscured Reality. Join your hosts, Mark and Stephanie, as they take you through a journey of the extraordinary, bizarre, and often frightening world of the unknown. Explore topics of the paranormal, UFOs, alien abduction, lost civilizations, mythical monsters, and other unexplained mysteries. Come along with us as we transcend into another dimension of obscured reality.
I intentionally have to keep myself farther away because I know I'm a loud-ass motherfucker.
Welcome back to Obscured Reality. You heard it here first. Stevie's a loud-ass motherfucker. Obviously, that's Stevie, and I am Mark. Guys.
Time.
Yes, guys.
Every time.
Well, let's start with you, Stevie. How's it hanging tonight? You're a loud motherfucker. We hear that.
Mm.
Oh, that was good. That was good. On the fly. Hey, well, before we get into it tonight, we got some housekeeping. You're gonna like some of this. First, I'll start off with a boring housekeeping, guys. Let's like, share, subscribe, comment down below, all the normal stuff, right?
Bells and whistles.
Really important.
Bells and
you have
whistles.
an obscure story of your own. You've seen a UFO, Bigfoot, whatever. Shoot us an email at obscuredr1. That's obscured with a D, R1 at gmail.com. It's popping up on the screen. And type story in the subject line. Type out your story. Let us know what happened. We'll tell it for you on here. We'll do a show on your story. We'll tell it on here. If you want to be on the show, let us know in the email. You can easily be on the show. Super easy to do. We're not paying you because we ain't got the funds, but it'll still be fun. You can call in. You can be anonymous. You can be on video, not on video blurred out. Doesn't matter. Up to you. And we can go through your story and have a chat. It would be fun. And the bells. I don't remember shit about the bells. You can do bells.
The bells usually let you know that we've dropped something sometimes throughout the weeks. Would help if you notified yourself of our droppings. Bells and whistles.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're gonna start tonight off with two pictures, guys. These are unrelated to tonight's show, but they are related to previous shows. We're gonna talk along the line of UAPs. Nobody here is going to believe me until you see it, and I'm bringing you guys proof of UFOs. So this past week, Thanksgiving, we took a little vacation with other family and stuff. We went out to Lake Havasu. You guys know Lake Havasu is where the London Bridge is. Colorado runs through it. Colorado
Are you
River.
serious? You went to Havasu? I'm so freaking jealous. I've wanted to go there for so long.
Hold the fuck up. I got
don't ruin it
kids.
for me.
We're limited on what we're doing. Next time, if we're smart, we'll rent a fucking pontoon boat and go out there, but we didn't.
Oh, God, still.
Yeah. But here's the point. I got two pictures to show you guys. When we were out there, myself and the brother-in-law, we are both into photography. And we, let's just say, we went out a couple nights and a couple mornings to get some open exposure shots of sunset, sunrise. Yeah. I will say this, the sunsets were horrible. The sunrise one day was fucking amazing. I'm not here to show you a sunrise. What I'm here to show you is on the first day we were out, I think the first day, taking pictures of the river, the lake right there. It's I think mainly the river where I'm referring to. No fucking joke. We saw a UFO. When I say UFO, we saw light. We didn't see an object. Obviously, we don't know if there was an object behind it. But we happened to be taking pictures. Hence, with the open exposure shots, we got the light from the UFO that it was emitting, whatever the fuck it was, in the photos. So because it's open exposure, that means that, it's shutters staying open, so it's bringing in all the light. Now it's completely dark. The sun's barely coming up. So the reason you're going to see a beautiful sunset, which once it got lighter out, it was still a great sunset. but you're seeing the deep reds and stuff because it's still actually really fucking dark. It's just letting, the exposure's open for like 30, 40 seconds. So it's letting all that light in.
That
So
light,
it's just
yeah.
slowly capturing it.
Yeah.
Well, we got the fucking UFO.
I'm
So
sorry.
Yeah, no joke.
Put this up.
The movements this thing was doing, we got it all. It's all the light. So here we go. I got 2 pictures for you guys. Here's the first one. The craziest UFO I've ever seen. Right over the river. That's like the path of travel. I mean, what's that look like?
I can't stand you.
Isn't that weird?
Is this like a backwards April Fool's Day?
I don't know what you're talking about. So get this. The night before we left to come home, we went out to London Bridge because they had the Festival of Lights where they light up the bridge, do all this shit. Mm-hmm. We saw a UFO again. I don't know if it's the same one or not. Here's what we got. We were doing the same thing. Oh, I can't change it up there. Here, let's change it here. Here's the second picture. Right over the London Bridge. Right over the fucking thing. I mean, it's hard not to laugh.
It's probably the best evidence I've ever seen. Why have you not submitted this to the fucking FBI?
We just got Air Force? Oh, trust me, there's a base out there too, right somewhere nearby. I mean, I don't know. Dicks in the sky. Everywhere you see graffiti, there's always a dick. There's always a dick in there somewhere. So, obviously, this is a joke. Those are from the drone. Yep. Those are from my drone.
Yep.
And we're like, oh my God, let's draw our kids' initials in the sky. And I'm like, oh my God.
Let's draw a dick in the sky.
Let's draw a dick in the sky. And then we're at the London Bridge.
So
didn't even
did you draw your own initials in the sky? Because it sounds like you're the actual child, not the children.
No.
Okay.
No. Mine are the same as my daughter's.
There you go.
So
technically you did then.
But technically not. But yeah. Then we went to London Bridge. We'll get some pictures of drone flying around through the bottom of the bridge, all those spots, and we're like, wait.
Let's draw another dick in the sky.
Why have we not thought about drawing a dick over the London Bridge? That's perfect. And dicks, so what I'm going to do, I
everywhere for everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to try and go on an actual London Bridge from London Facebook page or something and see if I can join and post that. I already posted it in the Las Vegas UFO group. Nobody's responded yet, which is amazing. Maybe it's because 99% of the photos in the Las Vegas UFO Facebook group is bullshit. That's all crap. I'm only on there because it's stupidly funny sometimes. Yeah. So,
sometimes I get the notifications on my phone and I go to the Facebook page and it's their page that posted that we got notified for, and I'm just like, okay.
Theirs isn't good. It's just all bullshit, and it's sad because they're clearly all bullshit, and everyone's even commenting this isn't what are you guys doing? You guys are fucking stupid. And it's right. So why don't you be more professional? I mean, obviously you're going to have fun and throw some fun ones. Well, yeah. So those are our UFO experiences out of Lake Havasu.
Jesus, you absolutely need to turn those in. Great evidence.
They're going somewhere. Well, what do you got for us tonight? I think tonight's on you. Sounds like
tonight is on me. Well, I kind of have been wanting to do this one for a while, but the amount of research is kind of staggering. Just because of the extensive history that this place has had. Yeah. It's more local to you than it is to me. Let me get back to my notes. There we go. Now you can't yell at me for being on my phone because my notes. So,
well, I could. You put them up on the monitor in front of you, and then you don't look at your phone all night.
I don't think I have. Wait, I do. I do. Ooh, hold on. Is that gonna work?
You know what I do? I pull my notes up right. I pull my notes up right next to the video of you, so I'm blocking myself. I don't need to see myself.
Hey,
right?
I still can't.
So
read
it's right next to you.
I actually can't
zoom
read.
in. Pinch to zoom.
No, I can't pitch to zoom on the TV. You made me.
Pitch to zoom on the. Oh, it's a TV. I didn't know that. You still tried it. Hey guys, you heard it here first. UFOs in Havasu and Stevie's pinching to zoom on TVs.
Look,
new
my
tech.
boss actually tried to do that to my computer yesterday because his laptops are touchscreen. All management and our front of end people have touchscreen laptops. We have regular desktops that we use. So he went to go like tap my screen, and I just kind of looked at him like, so how well did that work for you?
Yeah. Oh, well, not too good.
Yeah. No, actually, I can see it better on my phone. I don't really feel like going all the way down to my car to grab my glasses to see my computer. So.
Ooh, yeah, I hear that. That's why I just leave mine on. Well, what you got? What you got?
Anyways, so have you seen American Horror Story? Any of the seasons?
You said horror, right?
Horror, yes.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Not the
American
spin-off
Horror
porn.
Story.
Not the spin-off porn. American Horror Story.
No, I have not.
Oh, damn! Seriously? So if you're ever gonna watch this, I suggest watching season 5, which is about the Hotel Cortez, which just happens to be based on the Hotel Cecil. Which is what tonight's episode is about.
Okay, where's that?
That's, like I said, more local to you. It is actually on Skid Row in downtown LA.
Ooh, that's in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Skid Row. I mean, we're
Skid
going.
Row.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, originally
been there once.
Same. Well, I've been there a few times. Someone that we used to know had a Airbnb for whatever reason over by Skid Row, and it was. We'll never figure that one out. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Cecil Hotel is currently an affordable housing complex down in downtown Los Angeles. It originally opened December 20th, 1924 as a budget hotel for travelers and businessmen. When it originally opened, it had 700 rooms, 300 suites. As most places did back in those days, they had shared bathrooms and showers for every floor, so communal. The suites, yes, the suites, huh?
How many?
Every floor had its own. So the way that it's built is that it's like 3 solid buildings, like back to back to back, because at the time they had to have fire escapes, obviously. So they have fire escapes on literally every side of the building, so that's why it's done in the 3 chunks, because it's just a solid hallway with the rooms on each side.
Yeah.
And then
700 guests. It looks like it's 14 floors. That's right, broken up into the 3 buildings.
Yes.
Sounds like.
Yes.
14 floors. That's what, between 50 to 75 per floor.
So there is 700 rooms, 300 suites. The suites, I believe, themselves actually have ensuite bathrooms. Now, the way that it's built, I was watching some videos. It's very, very strange. Like, they have obviously stairways that go from one floor to another, but they have like this small step up, a landing, and then a staircase. And off of that landing is another communal bathroom. It's very strange how it's built. Either way, whatever.
Interesting.
So it originally opened, like I said, 1924 as a budget hotel. It was really beautiful inside. It had marble. It had beautiful brass, stained glass windows, potted palms, alabaster statues, like the works. It was tits. Yes. The 3 hotelers who originally opened this, cat screaming at me in the corner, invested about $2.5 million into this. It cost about $1.5 million to make in their money at that time, which can we just talk about how much that would be today? Holy fuck. But unfortunately, within 5 years of it opening, the U.S. fell into the Great Depression, and everything just went to shit. As we all know.
Well, let's take a look at a couple pictures real quick to get an idea what the shithole looks like.
Yeah. Oof.
So there's Hotel Cecil. Yeah, I mean
that is
it
part of the hotel.
Oh yeah. There's another picture from the front there.
Yeah.
And we got some inside in the lobby, I'm guessing.
Now that at the time
looks
in
cool.
the 20s was
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. And honestly, it is. It's fucking gorgeous. That's all
Yeah.
marble. It's well done. It's just not been kept up
Yeah. Okay.
among
Cool.
a lot of other things.
Right. Okay.
So when it opened, Skid Row was not a thing, but due to the Depression and the economy that happened afterwards, it quickly became Skid Row as what it is today. The history behind Skid Row, just real quick, is very sad. Essentially, LA didn't know what to do with its growing homeless population, and it was said, fuck them all, throw them over here. And they essentially were literally barred into this very small area so that they wouldn't bother the rest of the city, creating Skid Row and the problem that it is today.
From what I'm seeing, Skid Row is very close to it. It's not actually on Skid Row. It's like right down the street or something. Yeah.
Close enough where it just kind of spills over into it.
Oh, yeah.
Because like Skid Row official is just a couple of blocks, really. But Skid Row, as it stands, is pretty much the entirety of downtown LA.
Right. The country Skid Row encompasses all of that. Skid Row, the city, is a block or so away.
So just for people to understand how bad it is, we're talking like 10,000 homeless people in about a 4-mile radius. So
oh my God.
Just so people have a general idea as to how bad it
10,
is there.
10,000. That's more than there are residents in that radius, probably. Like legal residents.
So in 2011, part of the hotel was sectioned off, and it was called Stay on Main. So they were trying to get away from the whole Hotel Cecil reputation type of thing. So they were trying to do this whole cool, budget hotel, Stay on Main, and then they were going to revamp the others into apartments. Well, that never happened. In about 2017, they closed officially for extensive renovations. In 2019, a architect firm basically bought it, announced its renovation that would include 299 hotel rooms and 264 affordable units. Supposedly, the roof where a situation happened was going to be converted into an amenity space for hotel guests. Never fucking happened. On December 13th, 2021, Cecil Hotel was reopened as an affordable housing complex owned and ran by the Skid Row Housing Trust.
Oh, okay.
Basically, they're reopening it as exactly what it was about 100 fucking years ago, where the downtrodden and the poor and all kind of just converge. Because if you live there, you have to have a federal housing grant, which covers about 90% of what your rent is. The rent there is anywhere between $900 to $1,200 a month, which to us seems like, to me, that's fucking ridiculous. That's more than what I pay for my house now. And I'm like, how the fuck is a homeless person?
To me, that's ridiculously cheap.
See, that's the thing, though. To me, that's fucking... I'm like, how the fuck is a homeless person going to fucking come up with that much money like that?
Yeah.
But again, you to live there, you have to get the federal housing voucher, which covers about 90% of it, which is why you get about a year in there because it's supposed to help you get up on your feet and out.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great idea. I love the idea of where they're going with it. However, the Skid Row Trust Fund is a for-profit company, not a non-profit company, so we know exactly where that headed to shit. So it's currently about halfway filled up. It has some people waiting to get in, but it's about halfway filled up, which is wild considering. Either way, that's your quick history on the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah, from what I've found, it doesn't look like it ever reopened at all. It looked like they were going to.
It's actually reopened. It's open currently.
Is it? Yeah.
As the Skid Row Trust Fund, affordable housing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I guess it did. Yeah, it was earlier than that. I was looking. They were trying to. But
I watched a couple interviews with people who live there currently.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So.
Sounds. Yeah.
Let's talk some more about some famous people who have stayed there.
Famous people.
Famous people. So some of our well-known residents and guests of the Cecil Hotel is Elizabeth Short, also known as the Black Dahlia. She was seen
Okay.
at the bar a couple days before she was found murdered, not that far away.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh.
In the 1980s, this was actually the home to Richard Ramirez, the famous serial killer. He did most, if not all, of his murders while staying in the Hotel Cecil. He was eventually caught in 1985, I believe, as he was stripping off his bloody clothes and throwing them in a dumpster. A group of LA residents decided that they were going to surround him and called the cops and wouldn't let him leave until the cops got there. And that's how he was actually caught finally. Because who the fuck is wandering around in bloody underwear? Apparently, people who lived there had seen him walking around with like bloody clothes and just assumed it was part of his job, like he was a butcher or some shit. I mean, he was definitely a butcher, but just not
Well,
of
technically. Right.
right.
So that was in the 80s. He stayed there.
Yes, I believe it was 85 that he got caught. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was August 85.
Yeah. So he did most of his killings while he was staying there. Not actually there at the Hotel Cecil. That was his residence to escape from after killing his victims.
Most, yeah.
He was also an active Satanist, and he has believed to have done rituals in his room to have opened portals to hell to contact demons and the devil. And I will touch on that a bit later. Well, it's known that, Ramirez had a fucking pentagram tattooed into his palm. He drew some pictures while he was in prison, and, like, the people were wearing pentagram necklaces. On the way out of the fucking courtroom, he said, "Hail Satan."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's just wacko.
He is a wacko. I mean, he's...
I mean,
I'll hold my
obviously he is,
opinions.
but-
I'll hold my opinions. Yeah, 89. He was convicted of 13 murders and sentenced to death. Unfortunately, he died, I believe, in 2013 of cancer before he could be actually executed.
Yeah.
Another not as well-known serial killer in America, but well-known over in Austria, is Jack Unterweger.
Well, hold
I don't know
up,
if I said that right.
hold up. So, and I need to back up real quick. Because I noticed in this article I was reading on this with Richard Ramirez, he was convicted of his crimes in Austria.
No, not Ramirez.
Yes.
Jack.
No. While, yeah. Yes. He strangled and killed at least 3 prostitutes while he was at Hotel Cecil.
Jack,
and it said, no. This is...
Yeah.
Oh shit, guys!
Yeah.
Hey! You know what I want to remind you guys to do? Is separate your articles. It does mention Ramirez in the one with Jack. Okay, I didn't read the part with Jack, but it mentions Ramirez's name in there as well. Probably, obviously, because of the hotel.
Yes.
Oh no, because he was looking to copy Ramirez's crimes, so that's why I was thinking that. Yep. Got it. I'll just shut up.
He was convicted of murder in Austria, yes, in 1974. He spent 15 years behind bars there. And then as soon as he got out, he said, "Let me do that again." And
this
he
is
sure
Jack
as fuck...
Unterweger.
Yes, and sure as fuck he did. He started his little murder spree all over again and fucking fled to America, found himself at the Hotel Cecil because, as you said, he wanted to basically pull a Ramirez, and he strangled 3 known, probably more, prostitutes while he was there. Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, we know about the most famous and most recent resident. I'm sure everyone will recognize the name almost immediately. Elisa Lam. She was found... yes, you do.
I don't. The story faintly is memorable, possibly.
Really?
I
There's
think
a
I've heard
whole
it.
ass Netflix documentary about this.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I'm too old to Netflix and chill, though.
Then just get pizza and fuck. You can watch Netflix still. You don't have to...
Isn't that what Netflix and chill is?
Yeah, just get pizza and fuck. Jesus,
right.
don't beat around the bush about it though.
Well, yeah, the story sounds vaguely familiar, and I may have actually never heard it. I don't know.
You've heard it. Let me remind
I
you of
don't
the story
know.
of Elisa Lamb. Well,
Yeah.
she is was, I should say, a Canadian tourist
Okay.
who was staying at the Hotel Cecil. She was originally staying in a room with somebody else, but
Mm-hmm.
they were complaining about how she was acting. She was just being very strange. So she ended up getting moved to a room by herself.
There's some pictures
Yes.
of Elisa Lamb.
Yes, that
Um,
is her.
I will
Uh,
say, the
mhm,
pictures on the
mhm.
left and the picture on the right look much different than her picture in the middle, standing in the elevator at Hotel Cecil. And I will share more about my opinion on that when we get there.
So
Yes,
she was
ma'am.
found. So here's the thing: she went missing, and she was found 18 days later in one of the water tanks on the roof, stripped naked. Yeah, and the only reason they found her up there is because guests were complaining about the
Oh,
smell and the
yeah.
taste of the water.
Oh, fuck. There's a picture of the water
Yeah,
tanks up top there. Here's a better
yeah.
picture of these water tanks.
Yeah, it's
I
that one
mean,
right there that has the ladder leaning against it too. Because it's in one of the things I was
yeah.
watching, they had mentioned that that tank was the only one that had ladders leaning up against it. That's the tank she was found in. Now here's the thing: that lid has to come all the way off in order for someone to get in there. Once
Does
you're
it?
in, yes.
Are
Once
you
you're
sure?
in, it's not a big. Well, it's an opening, but like
Oh, yeah.
for you to get that lid back on, you have to be outside of the tank. Once you're in the tank, you are in fucking water. There is nothing for
Yeah.
you to stand on. And that water level, Lord knows where the fuck it actually is comparatively. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be. I'm pointing to the screen like you can see me. Jesus Christ.
I
It
can
could
see you.
be right where that the white is, like
Yeah.
like where the line on the tank is. It could be right there. How like those are big tanks. You like struggling to lift a heavy
Mm-hmm.
ass metal lid to put it back on the tank while you're already in
Right.
the tank. Bullshit. Bullshit. She was fucking murdered, even though her official cause of death was accidental death. She, yes, was on medication for bipolar and other mental impairments.
Well, she was supposed to be on medication.
She had true she had gone off medications multiple times during her treatment, and when they did the autopsy, there was less medication in her body than what she should have had should she been on it. So obviously it was very
Mm-hmm.
clear that she stopped taking it. So a lot of people think that she was having a bipolar mental breakdown, and
Right.
that's what caused it. But the thing is, though, again, how the fuck are you going to close that lid
Well, I'll tell
by
you how.
yourself? Also, there was sediment found on her clothes that like showed that it was like taken off before her getting in there. I just
Yeah.
there's some things that just don't add up. But this is not an
Well,
Elisa Lamb. This is a Hotel Cecil. So we will
right.
absolutely do another episode on that because I have thoughts. I have opinions.
Well,
well,
if you look, so if you're saying the whole top has to be taken off and there's no
that
little like holes on there, so
no. That whole lid, it's very
yeah,
heavy, but
right,
it's a bigger lid that you just can't move once you're back. Like if you're in the tank, you
right.
can't move that lid on top.
Yeah, no, I get
Yeah.
it. But look at that tank, and it almost looks like that lid's a little cockeyed, like it might be pushed off a little. So here's the thing. If there's still a chance she could have done it herself. And I'm only going off this because I read a little bit about this.
Mm.
Number one, her clothes. Well, I got to find out before I can say something on that. But if she pushed that top slightly off enough to get in, then I mean, if the top wasn't pushed back on, then it's kind of a crapshoot. Did
The
someone
lid
do it
was
and put her in there
closed.
or not? Well, see, I
When they
question that.
found her, the lid was closed completely. They had to remove the lid and that's when they found her.
See, I question that because what I read said police speculated that perhaps when she entered the tank, the water level was high enough that she could have gotten herself out. Um, so that kind of suggests to me that the lid might have been partially pushed off.
They've also changed the cause of death 3 times or twice.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
First it was accidental, then it changed to something else like drowning. I don't remember. Then another one was like accidental. Like, I wasn't necessarily
clothes-
drowning, but then they
her
changed it
clothes
back to
were-
accidental.
Yeah, her clothes were also, it looks like, in the tank as well.
Yes.
So they speculated as well that they believe she probably undressed while she was in the tank, trying to remove her clothing, to keep her from being weighed down.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of
Who knows?
speculations, and there's a lot of changing of the stories, and there's a lot of like,
Yeah.
this is what was like released, and then this is what was released later. But again, this is not an episode about Elisa Lam. She deserves her own episode.
Yeah.
Well,
we're still gonna watch her video when we get there.
Yeah, with her actions in the elevator. Some people who are more on the paranormal side of it believe that she is like being possessed or controlled by demons, or is like seeing spirits or something,
yeah, that's
and that's
what
driving
with someone
her
with a gnarly bipolar disorder has. Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, concepts. Yeah, but so they some people truly believe that is just a very evil place, and that's what has caused, because there's been murders and suicides. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm going to touch on all of this. So, speaking of murders or suicides,
let's hit her video real quick.
Yeah, let's hit her
before we move
video
on
real quick. Yeah.
Let's take a look at this. I'll tell you, I watched the video, and actually, it's about a 2-minute video, so I'm on 2.5 minutes. So let's talk while it's playing. There's no sound. We'll talk,
quick.
and I'll tell you what I see going on.
Real quick, before you start that,
let's
just let it be known that some people think that what she's doing in the elevator has something to do with this Korean elevator game, that if you punch certain numbers and you do a pattern, it's supposed to take you into like another realm.
Oh my god!
So some people were thinking that she was playing that game.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out, that like with the random punching of the numbers, that's just one of the theories that people have come up with.
Well, let's take a look at it. I'm going to go, as soon as I pull this up and start playing, I'm going to go turn my heater on, and I'll be right back, and we'll start talking about this.
Oh, I like how you have to say you're going to turn your heater on like it's fucking cold there or some shit, when it's snowing outside right now for me.
Is your heater been on in your home? See, ours hasn't.
So don't cry. I'm going to turn my heater on.
Nobody's crying. Okay, here's the video. We're going to start it now. Let's see what happens. I'll be right back.
While you go turn your heater on, I will talk aimlessly. As you can see, she's pressing all the buttons down in a straight line. So what I have also noticed is that in the elevator now, it's not mirrored. The elevators at this time, when I was, or maybe at least maybe just not that side it is, or it doesn't reflect on the camera. But when the Ghost Adventure guys was going through, it was definitely mirrored and reflective. So she looks like she's hiding from somebody right here. And so she peeks out, takes a quick look around. It almost looks like a little bit of square dancing there. Oh, we're going to head back out. So I never actually
with me.
So I never actually read the rules to this Korean game, so I don't know if this has anything to do with it. But it definitely looks like she's having a conversation with somebody right here, just out of frame.
See, here's what I get, okay? And I think I would think this as well without knowing about the bipolar going on. She looks to me...
She looks distressed.
I don't want to say like she's crazy, but like she's acting crazy. She's
look at the punching of the... Exactly.
Well, yeah. And the reason I want to point that out is because I had read that they believed, that it was an idea that some people thought she may have been trying to get away from somebody.
Yeah.
And so I took that as acting kind of frantic and all that. And I watched the video and I'm like, she looks like
Huh?
she is just
But
out
these
there.
actions right
you know?
here, she looks like she's out of her mind. Like, look how her fingers
know,
are spread and how she's.
When I was like 8 years old, I saw a lady at a restaurant at the Sault Ste. Marie Canal
Holy shit.
having breakfast with nobody sitting at the second chair
Oh,
at her table,
no.
talking to them the entire time. No joke. If you only had this one lady on video doing the talking, you would
Really think
totally
that.
have guessed there was someone there. Yeah. So, I won't be convinced on that, unfortunately. But she looks to me like she's just acting crazy. She looks to me like she could be having some type of,
Paranoid
issue going
breakdown.
on.
Yeah.
Most likely having to do with the bipolar. I really don't see anything different than that. She's pushing all the buttons. It looks to me. Now, it's hard to tell if she's pushing specific combinations or not. It looks to me
Going
like
down the
she's just
row.
pushing them all, or at least all on the left side. Um, someone fucking around trying to push them all. But then when I saw the elevator door never closed, I'm like, oh, she's just fucking around. She's not even fucking with other people. Like, hey, let's make this stop at every floor to piss people off. She's just fucking around, and she's just in and out of the elevator and looking around and having a conversation with possibly someone. I personally think no one, and
I
just
don't think
talking.
anyone either.
She looks like she's having an issue right now. That's what I see. And from what I read, as far as what they believed, well, her clothes were in the water tank. That tells me there's a 50-50 chance if she was murdered, someone else took them off and threw them in there with her, or she took them off trying to stay afloat and get out. They also said that they believe that the water level might have been high enough so that once she was in and swimming, trying to float, she should have or possibly could have been able to reach out to grab the edge and pull herself out. That tells me the top was probably partially off. And here's what I see. They probably knew that water was shitty because it's sitting up there in these water tanks on the roof. She probably didn't want to shower in the communal shower. She's like, everyone's going to shower in my communal.
Ew.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Well,
But
also,
that
so
sucks.
the elevators at the time of a investigation that I was watching,
Mm-hmm.
the elevators that go, the only set of elevators that go to the roof, mind you,
Mm-hmm.
don't work. They don't go to the roof. They don't go that far up. So the only way to get up there is to crawl out a window onto a fire escape on the 14th floor and to climb up a very sketchy ass ladder on the side of the building up onto the roof. So was she led up there by somebody? Was she, like there's no way
Yeah.
there's gonna be someone carrying you. I mean, she's a small, tiny woman, but like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you the video that I was watching. I'm gonna see if I can just tag the time for you. But like, though,
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna YouTube her tonight and check some videos out.
There's a lot on her.
They did
Yeah.
suspect that while they thought she initially could have pulled herself out of the tank, the water level might have been high enough. They said that the water level could have decreased from guests and residents using the tap water, which would then actually leave her trapped. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Anyways,
Okay.
so speaking of deaths, those are just like the well-known ones.
Okay.
So there's at least 18 known recorded deaths in that hotel since its opening.
Really?
Yes.
I would like to look up
Oh, there's a list.
hotels that have been open since right around, let's say, the same decade that this one opened, and I would like to see an average of the number of deaths in all the hotels that have been open since this one's been open.
Well, I mean, this one is
Same time frame,
kind of little.
you know?
This one's special. This one's very
No, I know, but
special.
you want to get an idea,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And see, well, what's the average? And you find that like on average, maybe 2 people died per hotel that's been open about the same amount of time, then that would be definitely,
Mhm.
what the hell's going on there?
Well, that's just
Why
the
so
known.
many?
That's just the recordedly known like deaths. That's like,
Yeah.
but it is believed to be up in the hundreds, to be completely honest, because rape, prostitution, overdoses, robberies, suicides, homicides, it was all very common and very prevalent in everyday manners there. Like it was essentially like a poorhouse. I mean, once the Great Depression hit, obviously no one had anywhere to go. And it
Right.
started to, just become a slum, and that's what it stayed, especially with Skid
Yeah.
Row and just the fact that it was always a budget like hotel motel.
Yeah,
Anyways.
it was interesting for Hotel Cecil. The way it read to me that when they built the place was they specifically said is a budget hotel, but that they did it like really nice inside, and what they were trying to cater to didn't sound budget to me.
So they were trying to cater to like the traveler and the businessman who wanted to have like opulence, but still be on a budget. Apparently there was a couple other hotels in the region that were similar, that were doing really good. So that was the model that this was based off of.
Okay.
So at least, just as a recap, at least 8 people have jumped from
Oh, Jesus.
the floors.
That's
Yes.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting because, there's places to jump everywhere, especially in LA.
Yeah.
Like,
But
and
8 people have decided they were going to do it. 8 recorded people have
Yeah.
decided to do it at the Cecil.
Huh. That's interesting.
3 people have decided to go out via poison capsules. We've had
Whoa,
yes.
what?
Yes.
Hold on. I read about one person from
3.
a poison capsule.
3.
And no. I'm not saying there's not 3. I'm saying I only read a 1 so far. And I was like, well, that's interesting at this hotel. And now you're like, well, there's actually 3. Like a poison capsule.
Yeah.
How the hell do you wind up with 3 different people doing that there unless they were sold some really shitty drugs? And these weren't actually drugs, right? They were to kill these
cyanide
people.
cap. No, these
murder.
were intentional. Like some of them had suicide notes with them. But apparently back in the 30s, you could get your hands on shit like that pretty easily. But then again, you also had cocaine and other things and pretty much all of your medications up until the 50s.
Well, and in your Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Like,
right, let's be honest.
you could get drugs are bad. Yeah, your grandparents were fucking high on them constantly.
Yeah, they were drinking it. They were drinking
not
Coke.
only that, but like the
No joke.
happy pills for the 1950 housewives. What the fuck do you think that was? Sugar?
All right. Well,
anyways,
so 3 people
have died by
pills.
poison. Yeah. Some people have slit their own throats. Others have shot themselves in the face.
Jesus Christ.
The first person to die there by their own hand was in 1927. So only a couple years after opening.
Okay.
Orman Cook shot himself in his head after he realized that him and his wife weren't going to be able to fix their marriage.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
So
that's a great way to handle that situation.
Yep.
Good Lord.
A couple other ones, just a couple noteworthy ones. Helen Gurney in 1954 just decided that she was going to step out of her window. She fell and hit the marquee right above the front door. In 1944, Dorothy Purcell didn't know that she was pregnant with her boyfriend's child that she lived there with. She went into labor and didn't want to disrupt her sleeping boyfriend, so she gave birth, somehow silently, in the bathroom, thought her baby was dead, and chucked him out the window. Yep. Roy Thompson.
I hope she cut the cord first. That would hurt.
Okay.
Just be a fishing line
Shut
coming
the
out of a
fuck-
fishing reel. I just
Shut the fuck up.
there goes my intestines, and there's my stomach.
I think my uterus just crawled up higher and died. That's If
Oh,
that's what
shit.
like secondhand ball pain feels like when you watch a guy get kicked, now I understand. Holy shit.
Oh.
Anyways, she was taken to court, but they had deemed her temporarily insane, and therefore she didn't get convicted of it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Likely excuse. Well, I thought it was dead.
I mean, it was the 40s.
I thought it was dead after I chucked it. Definitely.
In 1938, a man named Roy Thompson jumped to his death. No one knows why. No note was left. In 1964, a long-term resident who was well loved and known in the neighborhood. She was a retired telephone operator or switchboard operator who was known for feeding the pigeons.
What was her name?
Pigeon Goldie.
Pigeon Goldie Osgood.
Yep.
Okay.
She was found raped, stabbed, beaten, and her room ransacked in 1964.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yes. A gentleman who was found walking through the park in which she used to feed the pigeons at was found covered in blood, just walking through it. And he was arrested as the killer. But
Jacques
he was
Ellinger.
Yep, but he was
Jacques
later
Ellinger.
acquitted.
Yes.
Mhm.
They said he was later cleared as a suspect, and so her murder remains unsolved. So I'm wondering, like, well, obviously he's walking around covered in blood. He's gonna get arrested, so they can see what's going on.
Ramirez
But
got away with it, so who knows?
I'm wondering, like, oh no, because they weren't testing the. Were they able to test that back then? No. Huh.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And they
that's
probably
weird.
didn't keep that evidence to go back and test it today.
Yeah,
And no
that's
one's
interesting.
probably putting in the request to do it either.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Okay.
Yep. So, Pauline Otten
Okay.
jumped from her window of her ninth floor room after an argument with her estranged husband. He had left the room prior to her suicide, so he was cleared of any wrongdoings. However, when Otten landed, she hit a pedestrian, killing him instantly.
Oh.
So he is the only victim of the Hotel Cecil who died outside of its premises.
Talk about not knowing what just hit you. I mean, shit.
Jesus Christ.
I guess I'd rather not know too, especially if it's a body, you know. Ugh.
Yeah, so at
Good
least it was
God.
an instant death, but goddamn, that's a way to go. All right, so hauntings, obviously, considering the fact that it's just been a dirty dwelling place for fucking decades with just this scourge, prostitutes,
Yeah.
murderers, rapists, like just the worst of the worst going through there. You know that it's,
Mhm.
you know how I always say that it's the land that, makes a place evil and attracts
Right.
evil. I truly believe this is one of those places. It attracted serial killers. It attracts people who do nefarious things.
Well, there's a reason why. I mean, it became the Cecil became notorious rendezvous spot. It said for adulterous couples, drug activity, and a common ground for prostitutes. So it's like, well, was it just a really cool hotel to those genres of people, or is there possibly more to it?
I mean, considering that, especially that land out there is also highly contested by natives and whites and warring, even Hispanics.
Right.
Okay, child, goodbye. I can only imagine just the history that land has as itself, and then not only that, but you're on so many fault lines in LA. Like the earth itself is being torn apart constantly in that city. So who knows? Who truly knows? It could be even fucking magnetic lines that are drawing psychos there. You never know.
Right.
It's not a known science, so I can only speculate. So
yeah, and common sense would tell me, again, just an opinion, that if it were something like that, it wouldn't be narrowed down to just one hotel. Like you'd expect
Right.
a ton in the whole radius of a particular area to be having issues, or homes and hotels and just buildings in general, anywhere people are, period. Outside, doesn't even have to be buildings, That's
Yeah.
kind of where my mind goes with it. But I mean, there's clearly, shit happening there.
Yeah, but a building is a
And
place for it to collect.
oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
within a border, a solid
yeah,
border. So, obviously, like I said, people believe that there are bad spirits, there are demons, the devil, and that they possess people and cause them to go crazy, which is why the lady who threw her baby out of the window, some people are like, yeah, she got temporary insanity because while she was there, she was possessed by the demons and she was clear-headed as soon as she left, and that's why she threw her child out the window.
yeah.
There's always going to be those people who go immediately to demons and devils, not the fact that people are just really shitty to their core, and like, because we're shitty,
Right.
like, as humans. But then again, you also have people like Richard Ramirez, who, like I said earlier, was a practicing Satanist who was known for doing rituals in order to open portals and contact the devil and channel the devil. And he truly believed that. And people who really truly believe wholeheartedly in something like that, like, it's thought manifestation. It's a whole other thing. Look it up. Like,
Right.
if you can thought manifest good, you can thought manifest bad. And speak of the devil and he shall come. Truly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're religious or not. Like, if I truly believe that evil attracts evil, whether it's spiritual or human to human. You feel that energy and you are attracted to it.
Right.
So, when they closed, a lot of, like, they tried to really get rid of the reputation of the Hotel Cecil, which is why they tried to reopen as Stay on Main and be like hip and cool and shit. That obviously didn't work. But in the most recent years, they actually started to embrace the idea of Hotel Cecil and its hauntings and its past. And they let only two groups of two large groups of paranormal investigators in. Ghost Adventures and TIL something. What is it? Hang on. TFIL. There we go. They were able to bring in spirit boxes, and I know there's other YouTubers that have been through it. I know Kelsey has. She's a medium, TikTok medium, but I like the guys that go in as a group that split up, that have a command center, that have the cool shit like the cat bells, the spirit boxes, the REM pods. I like that. That's
Right.
scientifical shit to prove that there is a change in the atmosphere. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you can see
But
that it's not scientific.
well,
in
it's
a
recording a
matter
change
of,
in the atmosphere, which
Yes,
could or could not
yes.
be relevant to the situation,
right.
which is more than what people can say going through, like, oh, I feel a connection to this spirit. Like, okay, I'm sure you probably read a book about that spirit, which is why you have a connection with it. Like, I would much rather watch shows like that than, you know what I mean?
Right.
Either way. So, not saying that this is in any way proof of evidence of spiritual, like, existence, but this is just what has been caught by paranormal groups and also by a kid who lives across the street from the Cecil Hotel. And
I was gonna mention him.
yes, Pete. Pete, I love Pete. When I first saw him, I was like, damn, this kid looks so familiar. And then I realized it's the fucking tall ass redhead kid who comes from a family of little people and constantly is like picking on his mom about it. And I was like,
Now,
motherfucker, I knew it.
I want to point out his name is Pete Montzingo.
Mm-hmm.
His first name is spelled like the coffee. Pete's Coffee.
P-E-E-T. Like
Yeah,
Pete's Coffee, yep.
Pete Montzingo.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a resident who lives up literally across the street.
Literally, yes.
From what's now been dubbed Hotel Death.
Hotel Suicide, Hotel Death, yeah.
Back in the day, because of the suicides and stuff, they called it the Suicide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, locals refer to it as the Suicide.
Yeah. So he's had some interesting happenings, supposedly.
Yeah. First off, he's banned from the hotel, which I find to be hilarious because
really?
Owner hates him because of the streams and the stuff that he's done from across the street. Owner hates him. Oh yeah, hates him. He went to the ribbon cutting ceremony and he got escorted out by security because the owner was like, that motherfucker needs to go. Get that redheaded ass out of here. Yeah.
You know what I have to say to that? Number one, then put a wall up around your building so nobody can see it. Number two, maybe you shouldn't have signed a 99-year lease.
Land
FYI.
lease, yeah.
99
land lease,
years.
yeah.
He's stuck with it. And if this kid decides to live across the street and do the shit for, 99 more fucking years from whenever he bought it, then you're screwed, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Own it. Own
Yep.
it. Use it. Use it. Just use
And
it. Why don't you
great?
Why don't you go fucking talk to this kid and be fucking friendly with him and be like, hey, you're clearly doing this stuff. Like, hey, why don't you give me an interview? We'll talk about it. Like, spin
embrace it.
I mean,
why are don't be shitty? Why are you being shitty? You open up to like the Ghost Adventures team. You open up to TFIC or TFIL. Like, dude, this dude has been like.
Unless there's shit going on we don't know about that this kid obviously wouldn't say. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But I mean, like, he has live streams that like face the building, and he just lets it run all night. And his viewers will be like, "Oh, at this time, this window, this floor, this happened," and then he'll replay it and zoom in, and sure, shit is happening in rooms. And this was all during the time that it was closed during COVID for renovations. So, like, the lights that are on in the videos are the lights that are on by the workers, and those are consistently the ones that stay on. However, there are some videos that point out some glowing lights that don't match the shape of a cell phone. They're blobs. They're not round, they're blobs. Lights have flicked on with no one in the room. So these rooms are like 125 square feet, if that. They are studio rooms. They are very small. They, like I said, they're budget. If you turn a light on in there, there's going to be shadows cast. Like, you can't just like turn on a light and what are you going to do? Turn a light on and walk away? Like, what the fuck is the point of that?
Right.
So lights have turned on. Curtains have moved. Blinds have been moved. There was one that I was watching, and the light that was reflecting was very rectangle, and I was like, that's probably a security guard fucking with him, because the security guards obviously know his content. They have spoken with him, but they have also threatened him at the ribbon cutting ceremony. They literally threatened to like fucking curb kick him. Yeah. And he was like, what?
Sounds like there was more going on.
So there was another vlogger there who was, using his right to record from a public space, which, you are legally allowed to do. But I guess he was being like kind of aggressive in the way that he was talking to the security guards. And I think they assumed that the two of them were together, which sucks because they weren't. And Pete just really honestly wanted to be there to do the ribbon cutting ceremony because he loves that place. So that happened. So but back to the Ghost Adventures, since they were actually like in it. I really like Pete, and I appreciate his live streams and all of his followers that have commented and pointed out movement over the years. So Ghost Adventures, they were walking around with a psychic, and now I've already said my opinions on psychics, but either way. So as she was going around through the rooms, the crew were following her, taking pictures and readings, of course. And as they were standing in a hallway, the crew is in front of her, and so she's with the door to her back, and there's a hallway with like obviously other doors, and the crew are all in front of her. Erin is taking pictures of her, and in one picture she's talking to the group, and in the next picture she turns to her left to look down the hallway. In this picture, on the floor over here, away from everybody, there is a black blob, like a shadow blob with no like body or like line attached to it. It's just a blob on the floor. And in the next picture that was taken taken concurrently after it, where she's turned like this, blob is gone, But this little this I don't want to rethink this picture in my head because I honestly had to fast forward through it because the face fucked me up. I was like, that's nope. So in the doorway, just this tiny little sliver of a doorway, you can see a black figure that wasn't there in the first picture and like
Uh
a face. And it is a
huh.
bald head and the face is not a human face and that's
What
gross.
group was this
Ghost
from that went
Adventures.
in?
Ghost Adventures. It's
Okay.
the episode is on Discovery Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, it freaked me the fuck out. Like I said, I had to fast forward through it because like I'm good on shadow creatures, I'm good on noises, on like spirit box voices, but the
Mm-hmm.
second you show me a creepy face, I'm out. I'm good. I'm good.
uh.
Anyways, so the psychic just immediately went to the floor and room that was associated to Pigeon Goldie, Roy Thompson, and a couple others without guidance of the team. They were, like I said, just following her around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in a previous episode, you and I talked about a device they have that's made from like a Xbox Connect that like tracks
Right.
humans. So they were recording her as she was standing in a hallway by a bathroom. And she was like, yeah, I feel a presence over here, yada, yada, yada. Again, no one behind her. Everyone was in front of her because they were taking recordings of her, whether it be thermal, picture, or like video.
Right.
And on that little Connect thing, a little fucking apparition just pops up right next to her. And they're all like, oh my God. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, the fuck? So that happened in that hallway by the bathroom, and it also happened in Roy's room because Roy is the one who threw himself out of the window.
Okay.
When she walked into his room, she immediately went straight to the window and says, I have to get out, and opened the window. And they were like, get back here, get back here. So they pull her away from the window. They shut the window, and they step back, and she's like standing in the corner, and right next to the window, right above her, pops another goddamn anomaly.
Right.
And it's very strange because it popped up right immediately after she was like, I have to get out of here, and went directly to the window. So interesting. Also, side note, that window was found open later in the show after it was closed.
Okay.
Some things are like that. I'm like, but it still is like has that sense of weirdness to it.
Right.
The elevators. The elevators is probably my favorite thing about this place. They have a habit of sending themselves to the 7th floor by themselves. And this wasn't just with the Ghost Adventures team. This also happened to the TFIL guys.
Okay.
It will, like, someone will take it up to a floor, get off, and instead of just sitting there, the elevator will go to the 7th floor and then come back up to where you were. Or in Zach Bagan's experience, he got off on the ground floor and it shot up to the 7th floor and then came immediately back down. Everybody was in the control room except for Zach. So who the fuck pressed the 7 button and then sent it back down? And why is it with multiple groups that it's always to the 7th fucking floor?
Yeah.
Technically, this 6th floor of rooms, which let's just say it, number of the beast, 666. Again, another thing that plays into the Satanism thing of Richard Ramirez. So it's just strange how it all ties together.
That's interesting because you see this girl, Elisa Lamb, in there looking like she just has no intent of anything, just randomly doing shit, like pushing all those buttons.
So they observed the elevator coming down to the 1st floor without being triggered to come down there, going up to the 7th floor and coming back down and opening its doors, which was really terrifying to watch, on their CCTV center that they set up because they monitor certain parts of, the hotel throughout the night where they are, this is where the most action was supposedly to happen. So let's have a camera set up there 24/7 to record everything.
Right.
Camera recorded that. Fucking
So it makes me,
elevators.
which obviously is going to make you ask, okay, well, like I know a lot of buildings, once you go up to a floor, the elevator automatically returns or automatically goes somewhere, right?
See, I've never seen that. Usually, I've always seen them just hover there until they're called to another
It
location.
all depends. I
Huh.
mean, a lot of buildings are set up so they come back down to the first floor and doors open and they stay open until someone goes in,
I mean, in like a
or even
large
stay
building.
closed. Yeah, or even stay closed, but then you push the button to go up or down, and boom,
Mhm.
doors open. It's magically there. It's always been there, you know.
Hmm.
So it makes me wonder if that's been set up in that hotel or not. You know, who knows? I'm just, it's
I
the first thing that
doubt
comes to
it
my
because
mind.
it doesn't happen every time. And the fact
Yeah,
that it happens by itself is even stranger. And it was caught on camera happening by
yeah.
itself. Odd. Um
Hmm.
so in Jack's room, they were doing Zach was doing a solo spirit box session. And in his video, because they have body cam videos facing every way, you can clearly see that the water in the ensuite is off. In the middle of his spirit box session, the fucking water turns on. I would shit my pants and run so fucking fast out of there. And that's not even like touching on the multiple sessions that they had where they had like multiple voices come through and have semi like intelligent responses. So like they would ask a question and a word would honestly come through that did semi correlate with what the question was.
Right.
Um it's creepy, but we'll roll with it. We've already touched on, like I said, Pete, and then with the TFIL guys, again, it a person took so everyone was in the control center downstairs. One person went all the way up to the 14th floor. They watched the elevator come down to the 7th floor, go back up to the 14th floor. They had a spirit box session as well with a noise canceling headphones. This is actually really cool. I kind of wish that Bagan's group would do this. So
Hmm.
whoever has the spirit box has sound canceling headphones on as well. So as the other two people in the room are like asking the questions, projecting whatever, the person who I just got chills. The person who has the headphones on, who's listening to the spirit box, will just randomly say whatever they hear come through, and
Yeah.
that one was pretty intense. Like it started really intense, but then it was almost like the spirits were like, we're done. Fuck you guys. Just can you leave now? Like we're done talking. Just leave. But they were providing like answers and words that were relative to their conversations as well.
Right.
So they're the ones who actually found the freaky ladder on the side of the building that leads up to the roof. That was the way that they believed that Lamb went up. That's also how I found out that the elevators that's supposed to go up there don't actually work.
Yeah.
I didn't watch their entire thing. Their whole thing was like 3 hours. I just found part one, which was like 45 minutes. They do fuck around with each other for the first little bit of it, but then they
Of
get
course.
serious.
Right.
The difference between the two groups that were allowed in there, Bagans and the TFIL guys, is night and day. You got some guys are like, oh, what's that sound? And you have another guy who was like, let's set up these Bibles in front of the fucking doors to freak them out.
I mean,
But I mean,
if
it
you're
was
going
very
to
obvious that was a prank.
if you're going to do this kind of stuff, it's like, and there's zero proof that this stuff's real. There's zero evidence that it might be. Like, it's if you're going to do this shit, I would want to do whatever I can to provoke, because
Oh yeah.
I'm wanting a reaction.
Oh
So
yeah.
like, I'm not just gonna walk around with my tail between my legs and, can you please
Oh yeah.
speak
Neither
into
one
my
of them
I'm
did
gonna be
that.
like, put the fucking box on. Okay, we're gonna light
Yeah.
a firecracker in that toilet over there because a ghost took a shit in there 10 years ago. over here is where she was found in a water tank. So we're gonna go up there, take the lid off, push it off, and maybe pour a little bit of ammonia in there to make it smell. Because the ghost ain't gonna like that, of course. Like
You
I
can't
just be
just
doing
put
weird shit
ammonia in
to.
the fucking water
No, you know
supply.
what I fucking mean. Just I'm just saying,
Mhm.
I'd be doing stuff to provoke it, right?
Yep.
However, I can get the fucking reaction.
Yeah.
And the first time that a ghost reaches out and slaps my motherfucking face will be the day that I stop doing that. I'll be like, then I'll be the guy with the box and the recorder going, if you're here, please make a noise.
No, Zach actually, I feel like the entire time he's always been very much like "Rah!" about it in his interviews with the ghosts. He's like, some of them
Well,
he's like,
he's
"Do you like to
dramatic.
abuse women? Do you like that?"
Yeah.
And so like he does do that. Then other times like he tries to at least play to the like women's side. We
Yeah,
heard what happened to you.
they have to be a little dramatic. I mean, it's
Oh
for
yeah.
TV and you
Oh
want your
yeah.
show to work,
But I mean, if you want to antagonize a motherfucker, that's definitely a way to do it.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe something else antagonizes ghosts. Maybe that stuff doesn't even matter. Maybe they know, right? If they're real, I'd be maybe something like, "Ghost, if you can hear me, you can talk or don't talk. I don't really fucking care, but I'm going to tell you right now that when
Fuck
I die and
you.
I come to your little ghost realm, I'm going to find you and beat your ass." You know? Who knows? Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Oop.
Well, I might look this place up and see how much a room is and go take a little staycation there
You
on
can't.
my soft life
It's not
tour.
a hotel. Not a hotel.
Oh,
You have to have a federal housing grant to live there and be homeless and make less than $23,000 a year.
money talks,
Yes.
homeboy.
Yep. You
Money
have to
talks.
be like considered very low income to even be considered. And again, you have to go through the Skid Row Housing Trust. And enough
I'll
said
go
there.
find one of these people that live there.
Oh yeah, they'll
offer
dude,
them
yeah.
some money, and I'll cook for them and stay there 2
Dude,
nights
that's
in
what
their
Pete
room.
did. Pete fucking okay. So first off, back to Pete. Love Pete. Shout out, dude. He he got let in. He snuck in after he got banned. He snuck in because of course, it's like people follow him and they're like, "I live across the street. I live in there. I let you in. Let's go." And some lady let him in, and so he went up to like every single staircase, and on the fire escape, he slapped one of his stickers. So like on the way up, if you use like
Jesus
binoculars,
Christ.
you can see his little stickers. And he's so it's kind of funny. He still actually lives across the street from it. I saw a video
Yeah.
he posted about 7 days ago where that Kelsey girl, the TikTok clairvoyant psychic, came over and apparently helped break the spirits off of him because of his obsession that he had with the place. Apparently spirits like attach themselves to it, but
Sounds like this isn't going to be the last we're going to hear of Pete Montzingo in the next 80 years. Is going to wind up tragically something happening. It's interesting. Pete, I didn't read much on him, but just a tiny bit. And so he posts video cameras up in his room, facing over there at the hotel, and live streams it.
That's what I was
so
talking
people
about.
can
Yeah.
record it. And, just watch it and see what they see.
Yeah,
Things
and they like
change
in the
or whatever.
comments they point out. Yeah, that's what I was talking
Yeah.
about. In the comments they point out where they see shit, and he goes back through and like edits the time points and says, "Oh fuck," and zooms in, circles it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hardcore appreciation to his fans for doing that. By the way, like y'all rock.
Well, it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. Hey, if y'all see a ghost flying behind one of us, preferably Stevie,
Don't
let
tell
us
me.
know and point it out.
Don't fucking tell me.
Tell me so I can tell her.
No, it's bad enough
Dude,
that
I'm
I
here.
see. It's bad enough that like I sometimes when we do these episodes have to kick this guy back a little bit just so I can like hear out there because I freak myself out so bad. Because like my cat will like walk by and it'll freak me out, or I won't see her walk by and she'll trigger my automatic light out there and it'll scare me because I have a motion sensor light over my sink, so that way I don't actually have to turn the lights on when I come through.
Right.
And sometimes it scares the fuck out of me. Like that last time we were talking about scary shit, and I had my door closed and my dog popped in, and I audibly screamed like a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to bed one eye open every night, and a goddamn sink light turns on.
It does actually freak me out, but I just have to remind myself it's my cat, so I just leave my hallway light on, so I can't tell anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Hey, you'll find out.
Mm-mm.
Find out someday.
I already know. I just don't want to see you. I already know you're here. Just leave me alone. It's like the spiders. You can chill. I just don't want to see you. When I see you, then we have a problem.
I'm good with spiders. You can swim in
No.
Ugh.
More than 4 legs, you're not welcome in my house. Like I said, if I don't see you, we're fine.
Yeah, and even 4 legs.
I love my 4-legged motherfuckers. I love them.
It depends what they are. You're talking about dog or cat, that's fine.
My dog and my cat.
There's plenty of
dogs.
4-legged or more that no.
Yeah, nope. I don't want a goat. That's for sure.
I'm sure there's plenty of 4-legged friends hanging around the Cecil.
Yeah, actually there is. I've seen a couple of recent YouTube shorts and YouTube interviews with current residents, and it's getting pretty damn bad. Obviously it's a for-profit, so I don't have the structure that a nonprofit would for the support that people who have been recently homeless need to get up off the ground, to make smart financial decisions, and to succeed in life.
Right.
So a lot of people are kind of just like left to their own devices. There are there's not enough security officers to handle the fights. There's no therapists or mental health counselors to help people take a step back and breathe when they need to. I've seen videos of a man who was naked on the 4th floor, like literally chucking everything out of the fire escape, like ripping pieces off the wall, throwing it out, ripped a bed out of a room and threw it out. You know, where was the therapist and the mental health counselor to help him then?
Yeah.
So because of the fact it's a for-profit, it's gone to absolute shit. And so it's just reverting right back to exactly what it was, like I said, 100 years ago. Well,
Yeah.
damn near 80 years
Close.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going right back to the people who need the help more than anybody else, but just are not given it because of their situation.
Yeah,
It's just
they think handing out a place to live is gonna
be enough.
Gonna help, and it's only gonna help with 1 out of 100.
Yeah.
The rest, it's just a way to spend a lot less money, with a roof over your head, so you can keep doing
what you're doing. Yeah.
Now more of it, possibly.
Yeah.
Oh well,
It's
we got
sad.
any more
It's a very-
stories on the Cecil here? Nothing.
No, that's. I didn't want to make
No
it
more
too
haunting?
long, but here we are at an hour 20.
Please. Yeah. Ooh.
I knew.
Oh.
Yeah. I knew it was already going to be long as it was, and I was like, I'm not going to touch on everything, but I'm going to try to touch on like a lot of the key main points.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really want to do an Eliza Lamb episode.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
I want to hear more of.
It's so sad.
In depth on. I want to see more in depth on that and what's going on, because on the facade of things with that story, when you just briefly read her story, because it's included in something like this, it looks like everything seems to fit, but they also don't mention some of the other things that were mentioned. So, I want to see all those details. And
you really have to like watch both sides, because obviously one side is not going to have some of the evidence that like leads to the other side being correct. And also Ron Howard is an amazing fucking director, so like they can lead you to believe anything, especially when the manager of the fucking hotel is giving her own statement. They're going to lead you to believe what they want you to believe. So you have to watch both arguments to get everything to make a solid opinion about that.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Well.
I won't be staying there anytime
Mm-mm.
soon
No,
or
no,
hopefully ever.
No. I mean, I
Uh,
would.
ooh.
Not gonna lie, I would.
I mean, here's the thing. I'd go stay in a room, but I would want like 3 other people with me. I'd want a total of like at least 4 people. However, that's not going to happen because
Just one.
it sounds like those rooms are ridiculously small.
They are, and they're
So-
actually they have a rule, supposedly that obviously clearly ain't really stuck to, is 1 person per room.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
Mm-mm.
Uh,
I would definitely stay there with 1 other person, and I would also stay at the Stanley Hotel as well.
well, maybe we'll get our chance someday to stay at the Cecil. I'd like to drive by. I'd like to get some photos, but I don't feel like going over there.
I have been so close, and I should have taken the opportunity. But every time I had the opportunity, I was just like so tired knowing I had a 2-hour drive home still.
Yeah. Well, it's not a good area.
I know. I
It's,
actually had, well, like I said, I had, well, my ex and I had friends who had an Airbnb over there. Why, I don't know. Probably the price. And we went over for Friendsgiving a couple years ago. And as we were walking, obviously we were bringing food. And I can't tell you how many homeless people screamed at us for not sharing. And it's just like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
please walk faster. Holy fuck, please walk faster.
Yeah. There's places you just don't go.
Hollywood
You know?
Boulevard at night, like the Walk of Fame. Once it gets dark, get the fuck out of there. I almost got my purse snatched on that street.
Yeah, I wouldn't be carrying a purse anywhere over there, especially now.
It was closed and over my shoulder, so it's like I would have known, but I noticed that he was really close behind me, and I grabbed my friend I was with and I shoved her off to the side, and he was like, I'm not following you, and I was like, why would you say that? Of course you fucking were.
Nobody said you were.
Yeah, no, gave yourself away there.
Yeah.
No. Walk of Fame, not after dark, y'all.
Yeah, no. I'm good. Well, yeah, that's it. Like, share, subscribe.
Comment, subscribe.
Yeah. Hey, if you've been over there, you talk to anybody that stayed there, you know anyone that stayed there, comment down below.
Shit, have you stayed there?
If you've stayed there, you know someone that does, you know someone that has actually had some strange happenings there, then what you're going to want to do is shoot us an email at obscuredr1. It's popping up right now at Gmail, obscuredr1@gmail.com. Story in the subject, type story in the subject line. Tell us the story in the body. We will share it on here for you. If you want to come on it and tell it yourself,
Even better.
bling. Even better, easy to do.
Better.
We'll have you on. Hell yeah. That's about it for tonight, it sounds like.
It is.
I'm gonna go watch some vids on Hotel Cecil and see what's really going on.
Have fun falling down that rabbit hole, and you are so welcome.
I want to see I'm gonna try and find the Ghost Adventures first.
Discovery Plus. If you, it's the only place that has it. Trust me, I fucking looked.
I bet you it's on YouTube. I'll put money on it. We'll see.
I'll give you my login. I really don't give a fuck.
Whoa!
That's right.
Whoa,
the
don't do that shit.
fireworks.
There's fireworks.
What's funny is that they have no idea what we're saying whoa about.
No. Yeah, guys. Apparently on a MacBook Pro, it's a thing. You do thumbs up, thumbs down. You do. Yeah. What was the one where you got to be like hand backwards, but not this way, and it does. Whatever. It throws different shit up on the screen. Yeah. It's kind of stupid because
totally forgot about the fucking fireworks too.
I guess it's for like if you're on a Zoom call or a meeting or something, you're like, oh yeah, good idea, Karen.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. What happened to the fireworks? That's what I was looking for. Good idea, Karen.
So is it like 2 thumbs are fireworks and 1 thumb is a bubble? 1 thumb bubble, okay.
There you go.
Now throw up 2 thumbs.
Fireworks. Bling bling.
Yep.
There it goes.
There we go.
Hey, want some rain?
Boo.
Yeah, boo. Peace sign probably does nothing.
Do 1 peace sign.
I am. I gotta get rid of both hands. Oh wait, yeah, wasn't that the one?
I don't know. Ah,
Yep,
yep,
that's
that was
the
the one.
All right. With that said, we are out of here. Peace.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check back with us often for new episodes. Feel free to drop a comment and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Obscured Reality.